We're going to keep our eyes on that right there. Seeing is believing, friends. I want people in Hurricane to go ahead and get in the shelters. There's a lot of people in the way of this. You got the Walmart right there. You got the car dealership right here. Any number of other businesses are in the way in Milton right now. This could be a tornado. We don't know that that's touching the ground or not. That has a rotation right there. That's what we're looking at in the Milton area, looking back toward that. I'm going to hopscotch between this and the radar again and again. We're just going to cycle this. All right. And again, we apologize for anybody who wanted to watch the Gulf, but this is a matter of emergency situation in the Milton area. Now, I tend to think that that may be more of a downburst, a microburst now than a tornado, but that is okay. That doesn't matter either way because that is damaging. That's the kind of thing that we saw the damage last week with this same kind of signature. This is extremely strong wind coming into the Milton area and the subdivisions just north of there. Dudley Gap. Brian's joining us now too. Chris is here on the microphone. This is coming right on up just north of the Milton area, heading on up to the Hurricane area right there. And this thing is hauling at about 40 miles per hour. The warning now until 4:30. Brian, we want everyone there to get into shelter. And I'm just going to keep changing between that and the camera because we do have eyes on this. I'm going to go back to the Hurricane camera. There it is. And that could be a microburst, Brian. I'm thinking that that is like a bomb of wind coming down to the ground.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
That is damaging wind.
because I'm looking at some. There's not very much debris that's lofted right now on the as indicated by the radar behind that. Just off to the west of Milton area, off to the northwest from there. But you're looking at more of a downburst situation right here than anything. But if you look on radar, yes, there is some classic signs that this is going to be. There is some spinning in the atmosphere, mesocyclone there.
So there is right there. We know that, and we don't see anything touching the ground, but that is a base lowering without question. So it's one of two things. Either that is the base of a wall cloud right there, or it is a bomb of wind coming down. It's a little hard to tell right now. We can see there's some swirl going on there. This is not a funnel cloud. They're on the leading edge of that. That is not a funnel cloud. But this is the area of greatest concern that we were looking at. And I'm going to show you, flip this back and forth a couple different ways. Tornado warning until 4:30 for this area from Milton all the way on out through the Winfield area. All right. And this is right there. That is damaging wind on Mill Creek Road coming across County Road. That's Johns Branch Road. Want to watch out for there. Just going to cross the county line any minute right now. And anybody, if you know somebody who's up at the Walmart in the Hurricane area, or anybody who's out there doing anything along Taze Valley Road from Hurricane onto the east, it's likely going to slide just north of there. But let's not take any of this for granted. And I'll zoom back out to show the red warning here. That is the tornado warning. And Chris, that includes Putnam, does it not? And well on up to the county line with. Does that cross into Kanawha? Let's see.
I don't think it shows a crossing.
No, it does not. They came up just to the county line.
Just to the county line. So Polka.
Polka looks to be the.
Is you're in there, Winfield and Fraser's Bottom. Now that, again, is probably a little bit bigger than this particular cell is, but the tornado warning does go till 4:30. I'll tell you this, Barbersville, I know it says you're in the warning, but you're already past that. It's already past you. It's this little hook right here that we're watching out just north of Milton. Would have just gone through there. There's hail behind this. Brian, this is going to slide literally just to the north, right there at that hurricane exit. I'm going to go back to that camera in one moment, but this is looking for that right there where the exit is. I'm going to go back to the camera anyhow in just 1 second, but you come up 64.
Yeah, I think we should get that camera and look at.
Yep. It's going to be right to the north of the Walmart area. So you want to be really, really careful there and get into your shelter. Chris, if you can swing that camera just a bump left and right, feel free to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So again, the tornado warning goes from Milton through Hurricane. We're watching this kind of really rain-wrapped area. And I think you're on that, Chris. I think you're on it. Maybe one or two more bumps to the left. Feel free to keep scanning around. Okay, so this is not necessarily a great area of concern. It's this area right here. That could be a microburst coming down. Sometimes we see that and you're like, well, that's kind of disconnected. What is that? That could be like a patch of rain and wind that's just coming straight down to the ground with damaging wind. Either way, we're going to treat it as if it is a tornado. The Weather Service doesn't put these out for fun, and we don't interrupt the shows for fun either. This is because of public safety concerns. Let's go back to the right a little bit with the camera, and let's see what we can see. Again, I would Want anybody to be in shelter right there. This is rain wrap, Brian. That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm still looking at everything.
You can't see it.
I'm going through a lot of different radar products privately here.
Yeah.
And
It's just all rain wrap.
I do see, though, we do have some of our other radar products, and I'm specifically going to tell you this.
Sure.
For the azimuthal shear for radar scope, they are indicating that back to the west of Milton, there was definitely some stuff rotating there.
Okay, so
But,
here it is again. Now,
as
this
far-
warning is until 4:30, and they may be able to drop that. But we'll see. Either way, that's damaging wind. And there was another thing that we had some problems with up here with hail. And to reset this whole thing, Brian, just real quickly, this is just one portion of this entire squall line right here. This is a squall line. There's hail with this in southern West Virginia. There are just intense rainfall and gusts here that could be 40 to 58 miles per hour easily. And that's now entering the Galbraith Point Pleasant area. That will eventually make its way through Ripley. But the tornadic portion, I was just watching that one little area near Milton. We're still live on Facebook and online. But we saw that little thing just kind of pop out there. Take you back just a few minutes ago, and it started by blue sulfur. And right there's where they put the warning on it. And then we're up to the current time frame. And this could be occluding, we call that, where it's just kind of wrapping up. And it's like this. It's doing this, which is kind of a little weirdness to see it on the north side of that. But we've seen more weird stuff in the past 24 hours across America than I can recall. So velocity, that's just straight out flat wind bomb coming to the ground right there now into the area. Just again, I'm going to go back to that other camera because that's a wind bomb coming down to the ground right there. That's a microburst. Let's go back over and hit the camera. We're going to go to hurricane. Let's watch it. Okay, go ahead and move that camera a little bit
Yeah,
around
spin
left
that
and
camera
right.
just a hair bit to the left. I
Left.
think that's what we're really going to see, like
Yeah.
literally just right down the interstate.
Yeah, let's go to the left.
Just tell me when.
Here comes. That's good right there.
Okay.
All right. So we watch this again. This could easily have a 58 mile an hour wind. There's a lot of turbulence up there that we can see in that cloud in the upper left up here. This is just rocking and rolling up high. And the tornado warning does include this particular spot. Now, we tend to think right now that this is not necessarily a rotating tornado. We don't see a funnel cloud, but what I'm seeing tells me that this rain curtain back there, when it hits, it's going to hit hard with a very strong wind. Let's go ahead and pop it left and right a little bit more here. Let's investigate, because here we go. Here comes the wind. Right there on the leading edge of that. All right, so here is kind of the leading ugly edge of this particular cell. Let's go back to the right a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris, for steering this camera here for us live.
And I'll say this: if
We'll see the flag really just ripping out there. Here it comes. Sure, Brian, go ahead. Go ahead, Brian. You still with us? I think he dropped off. All right. The wind is coming any moment. Let's go ahead and go back just two to the left, 2 bumps to the left. Thank you. And we're going to continue to watch. We can see, I can see some papers and stuff starting to blow. So the tornado warning continues now until 4:30. I'm going to watch and make sure that that does remain in effect.
okay, you got
Okay,
me
there's
back
Brian.
now.
He's back. Yep. Okay, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, they've got that hurricane camera on the big board up and running, and they've swung it back around to the west as well.
Okay.
So that'd be one to check out. Listen, this is the heaviest of the winds are right now in Culloden specifically, and we're talking about this is going to be a heck of a wind storm.
Right.
It's just coming right along I-64 and Hurricane. Obviously, next in line, then you're going to have the Taze Valley exit there with the US 35. That's going to be here in just about 2 to 3 minutes.
Yep.
So just
There it
incredible
is.
to see what's happening right now.
Any moment it's coming in. We were watching the trees here in Hurricane. Brian just said that it's Culloden. Culloden is the next exit up this way, and it's coming toward us into the screen. Here we go. Here's the rain. So Hurricane again now from the rest stop out to the east. It's already here. Hopefully everybody got into a shelter. We can watch the flag out here. There's our Walmart Supercenter store there. And this is over this way, where Duncan and Sheets are and all that. But here comes the tornado warned storm, and we don't see anything. This is rain wrap, so we wouldn't even have a chance to see anything that looks like, you know, a needle or a funnel. We're going to stay with this warning here for a little bit. And again, patience for the golf fans. We know we love golf too, but this is a matter of public safety. And when they issue tornado warnings, we go on with them. This is just the one part of this whole line, and the whole area has a severe thunderstorm warning. The warnings have been going out 45 minutes to an hour ahead of the storms because they want people who are out and about on a holiday weekend to know what's going on. All right? And again, we're going to watch what's happening here. Okay. Let's go ahead and scan it just a little bit left and right here. You can pop that. Do you still have control, or has it gone out, Chris? Let's pop it left just a little bit.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
It's
definitely rain wrapped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta be keeping an eye on the truck that's rotating.
Yeah, the truck too. We had mentioned that maybe that might have been a good idea to take that down, but I didn't get a chance to get that out.
Yeah,
I'm going to go back to the radar real quick. Okay, you keep your eye on that. I'm going to go back to the radar. And here's the good news. Wow. Okay, hopefully that is kind of the extent of that. But this is,
I think, beginning to gust out, essentially. This is becoming more straight line. There's virtually
right.
The rotation is almost gone.
Yeah, and it was very stout back here. We'll show you. That's when we had the warning was issued. I'll take you back in time here. This is when the warning was issued, exactly right there. They were very concerned about that rotational component, and now it has turned into definitely a dangerous squall line, kind of I'll draw it for you. It's this. There's a punch of wind coming just like that. There's actually maybe two of them. So this is like a microburst, pow, coming through right there. So that's likely going to go just south of downtown Winfield, just parallel to the interstate. I'm going to put that camera back on, but that's angling right along the Taze Valley area and continuing on out toward Poco with the strongest winds. That could be 58-mile-an-hour winds right now. It just updated. Okay, now it's just punched up a little bit up here, just north. That's going to slide a little bit more toward Fraser's Bottom, Winfield, and then up here toward Buffalo as well is included in the tornado warning. We'll see if they continue that as a tornado warning. I'm not sure that they will, but we're going to hang with it, as is our policy, to make sure that, you know, everyone is informed here. And I think, okay, let's go over to the right just a little bit, Chris, if we can. And actually just go ahead and spin that all the way through to the right, and then we'll come back, like do 180 degrees to the right, kind of slow here. All right. We'll get through. That's okay. We'll go ahead and just go through the post a little bit.
Okay.
And we'll look here. Okay, we can start to see more of that leading edge. I think we might have got away with one there, Brian.
I think so too. I think more than anything, if it spun up, it was really quick. Matter of fact, actually, it would have been more than anything just right there between Pea Ridge and Milton, Barbersville, Milton area. That's where we had our best spin of the day, at least in our neighborhoods here. But you know, this line just as a whole, you know, I've been looking at damage reports all the way back across parts of Kentucky and southern Ohio, and we're talking 45, 50, 55 mile per hour wind gusts, lots of trees snap, power lines down. You know, this is not on the level of a derecho by any means, but definitely these storms are doing damage as we go along. So we're going to take they're going to continue the tornado warning, but they're going to take Lawrence County, Ohio, out of the tornado warning at this point. Yeah. And at 416, they're looking at, you know, it's moving to the east at 45, and it was just 7 miles west-southwest of Winfield. So
okay.
That's the latest update from Charleston National Weather Service.
Yeah, we can see the sheets there
look at that wind on that
of rainfall.
There.
Yeah, you could definitely see the wind gust, but that is now already past that location. So this is a tornado warning. As you mentioned, that this has been cut out. Milton, you're all clear. Still raining. Milton, all clear. Again, I'll say it a third time. Milton, all clear. Barbersville, clear. Back here to the west. Huntington, not included. This is still valid for the Winfield area and the Poca area. Now, we have not seen anything that is touching the ground, but this is the potential of a damaging wind, and that warning goes until 4:30, and it is 4:18. So we'll stay with us just for a few more minutes. Still got a long way to go on golf, so we know that we'll get you back to that as soon as we can, because we are online.
We are watching golf. There's no doubt about it. But you know.
Yeah, we got
Golf-
we got to
golf
hang with
takes
what's
time.
important here
18
right now.
holes.
Right, exactly. So here you go, watching this severe thunderstorm, this line of severe storms work its way on through. And I just got a photo here with the, this was from Putnam County from the Tees Valley area. Definitely has a very ugly look to that. But nothing that's touching the ground. I think we absolutely did see, though, the microburst. And I'm going to come over here real quickly to show people power outages because we have had a lot of those, Brian. Here we go.
Yeah, matter of fact, actually, I had a friend who works for the power company. He goes, I am being called out now, so it's going to be a long day and night.
Yep, exactly. So all the yellow boxes, I know this is really confusing. I'm just going to turn off the warnings for a second. And let's see here. Maybe I'll turn them off. There we go. All right, so this is your
Listen,
power outages.
I've been getting pictures from people that have said these are some very ugly skies, and yes, they absolutely are, and there's definitely going to be wind with them, so just hold on tight, folks.
Yeah, so here's the problem. I mean, we've already had a lot of power outages with this, and this is live data, and so, wow, 2,000 there in Scioto. So you're going to expect to see that.
1,500 in Cabell County now.
Yeah, and that would have been right there in the eastern part of the county too, right where that was, and the next update's probably going to fill in a bunch of people in Putnam County. That's your power outage map as we have it right now. So we're going to go back though to this and show you the tornado warning that still is in effect until 4:30, and that does include people in Bell Acres, Winfield, Polka, right there at the pilot station, and if you go on up toward Polka, you'll run up by the sheet station. Those are all included in that. Winfield, you're included in that. The big wind is right on your doorstep. Here it is. Taste Farm.
Actually, if Logan, can you pull up that Winfield camera? There's the Winfield camera on US 35. There's also Tays Valley Interchange.
Yeah, there might be a 511 camera that we can look at or two through here. But this is still coming through with a very strong wind. In some sense, I'm happy to see that there's some noise in here on the leading edge of that, but that could also be a little bit of some dust. I want to check out a couple of other things here while we have just a moment with you. A moment or two left here, a couple minutes. And let's look for, oh yeah, it continues to just squall out there. This is more than likely not a tornado now, but it is more than likely damaging wind. And I'm looking for anything lofted here in the air. Looking for blue. Now, the blue out ahead of that would just be like dust or leaves or whatever out ahead of that with the gusts. So I don't see anything that, well, I can see where they may have thought right here. But that would have also been in the gap. I'll draw a little line right there. This would have been at Dudley Gap. That would have been right where, so it didn't necessarily line up with it. That was more than likely the swirl of wind coming into this when the tornado warning was issued, and that was at 4:03. But it shows you how fast this thing is moving too, Brian. This thing is hauling. And
It really is. I mean, when you're talking about 45 mile per hour wind, the speed of the storm is at 45 miles per hour, but then you have also wind speeds as a whole at 45 to 55 miles per hour, some cases up to 60. You're just adding to the mess that we're having to deal with. But yeah, I was looking at that as well down there, Scott Depot area. Yeah, it's
coming right
between
across
there
the
and Nitro.
interstate. Yep, right across 64 through the new construction zone. And that'll be heading right toward the cross lane, actually the St. Albans Nitro exit. This wind, Scary Creek, out that direction again, Tays Valley Road that goes between Scott Depot and drops down here on the old Route 35, Tays Farm. This is all where wind is potentially damaging right there. We don't see a sharp S shape. What I see is more like a squall line here. That warning might expire. This cell is actually going to, or this area of the line of storms is likely going to race out and end before, well, it's about 7 minutes.
We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for parts of the coal fields, and that goes for Boone, Kanawha, Lincoln, Logan, Raleigh, and then into Wyoming counties for winds of 60 miles per hour, and that goes until 5:15 this afternoon.
This
Well, you
box
can see
right
the
there.
winds there with Tate Valley, that camera. You can absolutely see it's just taking over. The winds just ruffling the trees there. A number of our cameras we've been able to look at this afternoon have been doing virtually the same thing with the power outages, sporadic in nature, but still they're happening. So lots of folks dropping off there. But hopefully this is just going to gust out. But the most intense part of this thunderstorm, Spencer, you mentioned, it's there directly across parts of Putnam County, and as we continue to watch that, tornado warning continues. And the strongest of the winds will be working their way now into and just south of Winfield.
Right there. Right there
Yep,
it is.
there it is. Look at
Just
that.
into
Yep.
Winfield right now. Winfield Acres. Well, we can take you right down there. Just south of the bridge, okay?
Yeah.
Right into downtown. It's basically over the courthouse. Heading for the high school. So the school will be over here. So it's coming right across the tip of the bend right there in Winfield. So that is a damaging wind if you live anywhere right there on the old 35, the main street in town, or Route 62. You definitely want to make sure that you watch out for this one. Take shelter. That's not necessarily a tornado, but doesn't matter. It's the same damaging wind. So get into shelter there. Yeah, we have Buffalo Bridge camera. There it is. That's just a little bit north. So basically, whether or not this is a tornado, there's still a lot of the elements that we see that look like rotation. I can understand why the Weather Service has a tornado warning on this and still will here for another 4 minutes. And just to let the control room know, when they expire that, we'll go ahead and drop off, because what we're doing is, if you want to see our continued coverage, you can check it out. We're on the website at WOWKTV.com. We are on Facebook. And then at that point, when the tornado warning expires, we'll just continue there. Unless another tornado warning comes out. But the policy is always to stay with the tornado warning. Brian brought up a really great point. 60-mile-an-hour wind is possible anywhere along this line. And we've seen power outages. Now, once you get back into this stuff, you're okay. No problem here in Prestonsburg, Pikeville. That's just some, garbage rain left over. But you can see how sharp this line is. And it goes all the way on up through Pomeroy right now. I would show people, Brian, but the Pomeroy camera's down. It's going to hit Ravenswood here within the next 20, 30 minutes. Ripley, sharp line there. And it was just that one spot right there south of Winfield where we thought we had the problem, but the wind is there. Wind is just crushing them right there in that area.
I think if anything, you're probably going to have, a solid shelf cloud, wall cloud, possibly even around the Winfield area, right there. As you're getting back to the John Davis power plant and the like, you're going to see some things that just look absolutely scary. But we do know that we have some gusty winds, and yes, there is some bit of rotation. While we don't believe at the moment there is anything that is a tornado on the ground or anything of that nature, still, it is something that is going to definitely rock the windows and definitely shake the trees for sure.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at, this one lags just a little bit, but those are the kind of winds that we have experienced, 48, 50, and that's enough to certainly knock down a branch and knock your power out. And again, we continue to watch just that one little protrusion right there moving into Poca, so go ahead and take shelter there. Go ahead and still take shelter. It's still severe over here at Rocky Fork, Lanham, Heiser. Up at Confidence, it looks like it's already gone through Red House, right? Liberty, I'd watch out. This gets up. So up at Liberty, if you've ever been up that way, it's a pretty nice view up there, up on top of the hill. That's great. But, and also I think there's like some wedding venues up there. There's at least one I know of, Brian, and not the best day for that. Sissonville, you want to watch out because this is coming your way within the next 30 minutes as well. That warning is going to probably expire. Have you seen anything in the chat on that?
No, they haven't said anything in the chat. I mean, the only thing is just, once you're up there to Red House, there up on top of the hill, as you go across the bridge, back up top of the hill there, you've got some rotation, but it's incredibly limited. Nothing I particularly put out a new tornado warning for, but there's definitely some wind right up there. Yeah, you see, that's what you're looking at right there.
Just a little bit of rotation there. Doesn't mean that there is a tornado, but as you mentioned, from Red House right there, and then that's going to extend to Confidence. Paradise, and it's going to continue.
They are going to allow
that to drop?
They are going to allow this tornado warning to expire. Yeah,
okay.
so at
right.
4:30, they're going to go ahead and let that continue on. And
All
just
right,
drop
so
off.
that's what we'll do. We'll go for another minute and a half to our control room here, and then what we'll do is continue online. You can find us at WOWKTV.com. The S shape is not great. That does indicate that right near Winfield, just north of town, by Red House, there is a real strong wind, and that is going to continue on up here to Emma, Extra, Confidence, Winter, Liberty, and Loop. That will continue on over towards Sissonville. Charleston is in the severe thunderstorm warning. Big Chimney is in a warning, and that will just continue, and
I
everyone's
would say,
likely going to have that.
yeah, I would say also down here across parts of northern Wyoming County going into Logan County, between Gilbert and Oceana. That's something we've got to watch. There's some winds are pretty good down in those areas. So it's nothing like what we've seen up to the north, but still there's some areas we've got to watch for on this
Right.
line as a collective whole.
So there's kind of like a little, excuse me, a little bomb of wind right there. So we got about 25 seconds left. Thank you for everybody who was patient with us here with the golf tournament. This is still a severe thunderstorm, and that is going to continue with that warning until 4:45. We want anyone along that line to please take this seriously. Give a heads up if anybody from Charleston to Ripley, anybody from Charleston south down to Beckley, let them know this is coming. And everyone has at least in this line a severe thunderstorm warning. All of West Virginia, all southeastern Ohio, down into Virginia. And that's going to continue for some time. So for Brian, for Chris, I'll say to the control room, as soon as we can sign off, we will do that, and we will get everyone back to the golf. And please join us on WOWKTV.com for continued coverage. We're going to stay there and on WWK and Storm Tracker 13 and my Facebook page. We're going to hang here till this thing is done online. So thanks, and we'll see you online starting now.